You guys, we need to talk about the show I Love LA because this show has people so upset. Like, people hate this show.
I Love LA is actually utterly painful.
All right, this is not a regular kind of TikTok I make. I just really have to get this off of my chest. I really hate I Love LA, okay? I think it is the worst show of the year.
The people hate I Love LA. But I kind of liked it. I've been seeing tons of mixed reviews on the show so far, and many people think it's a genius satire, while most people think it's just vapid.
The Curious Case of I Love LA. Just vote. Y'all, just watch it yourself. I don't know why everyone is being so fucking weird about this show. I expected it to be a hot mess. Come to find out, it's funny, it's witty, it's well written, it's well acted, it's contemporary.
If you haven't heard of the show yet, the show is based in LA. It's about Maya, who is a young talent agent who's at a low point in her career. At this point, she reconnects with her best friend, Tallulah, who's an influencer. As they reconnect, they form tons of messy relationships, career uncertainty, and what I thought stood out most was the satirical LA culture satire. That was a mouthful. But the satire surrounding LA, the show was very hard to digest for many viewers, which is why I feel like it has so much hate and backlash. But ultimately, the show, in my opinion, is a cultural mirror of sorts. It demonstrates the issues with influencer culture. The show does a great job immersing you into a world with many surreal moments, and in these moments there are often lingering feelings of secondhand embarrassment. And as viewers, no one really likes secondhand embarrassment. No one likes to wallow in those feelings. So it's kind of hard to watch at some points, but it's also addicting, and you can't help but watch what these characters are going through. But at the same time, in these moments, there's a theme of self-commodification and the inclination to give up your identity in the pursuit of clout. I Love LA shows how influencer culture often turns relationships into transactions. It shows how influencer culture erodes boundaries. As I was watching the show, I was noticing that LA itself as a state and the influencer community are kind of synonymous in a way. They are synonymous in the sense that they both support the same system. In influencer spaces and in LA, proximity, followers, and who you know, access, all of those things are value. Those are currency. And you can notice that relationships become transactional and connections you form with people become leverage. Maya uses her relationship with Tallulah to get a promotion at her job, which she's feeling very stagnant at. And in the same regard, Tallulah uses Maya as a talent agent because her career is on Flapiana. Yeah. The point is that they care about each other, but they also use each other. And I think being in these influencer spaces, these boundaries and these lines start to merge and they start to blur. And your friends aren't really your friends. They start to become co-workers. In my opinion, Maya and Tallulah are not evil people. They're in an environment that rewards utility over emotional presence. Maya feels exhausted, she feels unseen, yet she is constantly committing to things that she clearly does not want to commit to. She overworks, overcommits, she's constantly being exploited.
Do you remember when Addison was just making silly little TikToks or Emma Chamberlain was making vlogs? This dinner made them. One dinner can do that? Yes. 100%. If you can pull a sick enough look, it changes the way people see you. And then they're not just like, oh, she makes fun TikToks. It's like, let's give her $1 million and a Reformation Club. I actually dropped a steak knife on my foot today. Doctor said I would lose a toe if I came here. But I don't care. That's how much I believed you needed to meet Tallulah. Maya.
This was a really hard watch. But in the pursuit of becoming successful, Maya constantly breaks her own boundaries. It's kind of sad. My main question is why? What does she have to gain from this? Why does she keep doing this? And it's because she believes she's just one more compromise away from having it all. And who wouldn't do that? If you thought that you were just one more compromise, one more uncomfortable situation, and you can have the life you dreamed of or the success you crave, why not put yourself in that predicament? This influencer culture teaches you that if you suffer now, The future will be prosperous, and your future self will thank you. In these moments of secondhand embarrassment, where Maya continues to betray her own boundaries and to sacrifice her own comfort, I think the show critiques this influencer logic, and it challenges the idea that your future self will thank you. Because what if that future self never comes? What if you continue to keep sacrificing and you just keep losing yourself more and more? In these influencer realms, people start to question, are people being performative or are they authentic? When is someone being themselves? When are they just performing their brand? I can see that in the show, influencer culture blurs that line. Everything becomes content, even private experiences. Authenticity becomes strategic, curated, and monetizable. When I say LA and influencer culture are synonymous, it's not only because they reward the same system, but it's also because LA is a breeding ground for influencers. LA culture is influencer culture. LA becomes personified, it's more of a character. It's an entity in a machine that's a dream. It's superficial, it's seductive, it's promising, it promises you everything you want, the life you desire, the life, everything that you're working toward. But it's also an entity that extracts your boundaries, your privacy, and sometimes you end up losing yourself in that machine. You don't just live in LA, you start to negotiate with it. Are your privacy, are your boundaries, are your morals something that you're willing to negotiate with in order to get your dreams? So when people say there's a problem with LA culture, what they're referring to isn't about these brand deals and the fake smiles and the industry parties. What they're referring to is the transactional relationships that form, a system that rewards breaking boundaries, and turning identity into a product. These are just my thoughts on the show. Again, there have been tons of mixed reviews. Many people dislike the show. I'd love to hear your opinions down below. Do you think that there's a problem with influencer culture? Do you think the show is a satire? Do you think the show is vapid? Do you think the show celebrates LA culture? Or do you think it critiques it? Or both? If you like this video, and subscribe.